Now, average list and especially sold price this week is gonna freak you out until I explain. All right, my friends, how's it going? My name is Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate, affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm missing my man Doraldinho today. He can't make it, but he'll be back with us soon. This is the numbers and the nuance where you come every week in order to know exactly what's happening in Utah's housing market. I'll give you, as always, my nuanced opinion of what I see in the numbers, and then I'll show you the charts and graphs, giving you the trends to know what is happening in Utah's right now housing market. So let's get right to it. All right, basically everything is as we would expect it seasonally. Inventory seems to have peaked for the year. The amount of time it takes for a house to sit on the market before it accepts an offer, that average days on market time is trending up. The number of homes that are currently sitting under contract and the number of homes that are being sold each week is trending down. There's a trend up in the number of price reductions happening every week. All of these are normal and expected as we head into cooler weather at the end of the year. Now, average list and especially sold price this week is gonna freak you out until I explain that this week just happened to be one of those weeks when a lot of multi-million-dollar homes got sold. And it skews our numbers again. Of the 500 homes that were sold last week, 60 of them were over $1 million. And that's not to say that there were 60 homes that were at $1 million, right? About half of those 60 were over 2 million. 15 of those 60 were over 3 million. The most expensive of those homes that sold last week was $6.6 million. These are not small, quaint hotels you're seeing. These are people's homes that were sold last week. So obviously that pulls our average significantly higher than what the median home price actually is, because half of the homes that were sold last week sold at a price tag between $400,000 and $600,000. So a majority of the homes selling in Utah are actually selling under the average price, but the average does give us a mark. It does show us something that's going on, right? Seasonally speaking, we are headed into a downshift in price. We will just expect that. The longer homes sit on the market and the more price reductions that happen because homes are sitting longer on the market because it's cold and people don't want to move when it's cold, generally speaking, we anticipate a downshift in price. Not a major one, just a moderate one headed into these winter months. Now, interest rates bumped up yet again this last week, so we're still not at the high point of seven that we were sitting at, for most of this year. It came down over the course of a couple of months to close to 6%, and then it bumped up and it's bumped up again. We're sitting at about 6.8% mortgage interest rates right now for a 30-year fixed rate loan, conventional. I know a lot of lenders who are kind of upset about it, understandably so. Why is the Fed continually bumping up these interest rates? Well, to be clear, the Fed isn't. The Fed, I think I explained this to some degree a couple of weeks ago, but the Fed doesn't adjust. It doesn't have direct hands on mortgage interest rates. What it has direct hands on is federal funds rates, and the lenders will add a bit of interest on top of the federal funds rate in order for them to make money on the loan that they give to us. But the federal funds rate is the loans, it's the interest rate that they're charging each other as they settle and balance their accounts at the end of any given day. So when that raises, anything else that the bank would charge us interest for comes up a bit with it so that they can make a profit on what they're loaning us. The Fed is uncomfortable lowering that federal funds rate until it sees our economy look like it's in a bit more deep trouble. And our economy has been resilient enough that it has maintained interest rates where they are, because what it's really got its eye on is jobs reports. And jobless claims were down recently. And so the Fed is less incentivized to want to drop the federal funds interest rates. And that means that private lenders, banks, credit unions, all of them see these flags of what's going on in the economy. They know how the Fed is likely to respond, and they price in accordingly to the way that they charge us mortgage interest rates. Let's look at the numbers. Current inventory sits at 11,295, up just a little bit from the previous week, but still not at the peak that we had like 3-4 weeks back at 11,300 something. So that's bumped up, but I still think we've hit our peak for the year. Average days on market came to 56. That's up a little bit from the previous week, trending up as we can see. Average list price this prior week came to $739,069, up from the previous week. Don't freak out. I do believe this is going to start moderating moderately trending down. As I said earlier, the kinds of homes that sold this last week pulled this up because average sold price came to $809,690, which means last week the difference between average list price and average sold price came to $70,621, this time in the seller's favor. And I do think that has, like I said, everything to do with what homes sold last week. The number of homes sold last week came to 509, ticked up a bit from the week prior, but this is still clearly trending down. The number of homes currently under contract comes to 5,085, down a bit from the prior week, trending down as well. The number of price reductions we had last week came to 1,152, down from the previous week, but this is clearly trending up. The number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn from the MLS last week came to 348, down just a tick from the previous week. And finally, our interest rates, as mentioned earlier, are now sitting at about 6.82%, up a bit from the previous week, trending up the last few weeks. We'll see if it trends down as the Fed thought it would going through the end of the year. Wherever it goes, I'll be here to let you know exactly where it's going. And that's it for this week, guys. If you have any questions about any of the numbers or my interpretation of any of it, hit me in the comments. I'll be happy to respond. If you or anybody you know is looking to buy or sell a home in the coming months, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me. I'll be comfortable working with you, making sure you always know what's happening next, what to expect, and how to make the best of either buying or selling your home. As always, if you want to stay educated on Utah's housing market, there is not going to be a better way than to hit that subscribe and just stay educated with me from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. I'll see you next time.